You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at ES Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. I'm really excited today. Fully pumped, people.
Yeah, baby.
It's a beautiful thing. We got a guest in the house today that is all about fitness. It's a beautiful thing. Man doing this thing right now. Also a veteran, so you guys will get to learn a little bit about that. We're going to dive into that journey. So right now, help me welcome my brother, Ron. How we doing, man?
What's going on,
Mr.
man? How
Marshall
doing,
is in the building, people.
What's up, brother? What's up? It's good to be here, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, listen. I got to say, though, the last 2 days, I was a little overwhelmed, bro. It was a lot going on. You know, hey, when you don't have an assistant and you're getting busy, you can overbook yourself.
Yes.
I was overbooked like 2 different times this week. That was just... I didn't want to miss out on those, and it was that's the worst part. Right?
And that's what happens a lot of times, man. We going, man. You know, we get double booked and be like, man, I forgot I was got to do that because you're trying to fit everything in there.
Right.
You know, and it's about getting back to that calendar, man, and getting everything into the schedule the right way, so that way you're not double booking.
That's it.
You know,
that's it.
Refocusing everything,
man. So listen, we're gonna treat our guest today to a tale. You know, we want you to take our listeners back to the early years. Where were you born? What was that?
Well, I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
It was in a small, not small, but of course in the city. It was called Mid-City.
Okay.
Born and raised there. Grew up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, so I got to tell you, man, we got a break for a little bit here. So this is where you guys do the Mardi Gras happens.
Yeah,
up there,
man.
huh?
The best place, the best thing ever. And you know what? I tell people all about the second lines. The second lines is the one-of-a-kind thing that you do. I know they do it other places like Carnival and everything else, other ways, but the second line with that brass band playing, everybody just having a blast, just good
moving.
time. Man, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It happens every Sunday too.
Man.
They call it Super Sunday. Man,
That just sounds like an instrument that even if you don't want to move, your body parts are moving and just like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but we moving.
You just gonna move, man, because everybody else moving and you just having a good time, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to it, man. It's the lifestyle, man, you just indulge into, and you just want to have fun. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about. You know what I mean? And I always tell people, go back to the Bible.
Right.
What was Jesus' first miracle?
Right.
Changing water into wine.
Listen.
Right?
And it's crazy you say that because he wasn't even ready to do all that. His mom was like, hey, listen, whatever he tell you to do,
just do it.
You do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man. But I look at that moment and you go back to that time, right? That Super Sunday in New Orleans and how we just have a good time.
Yeah.
I believe that's what Jesus was intentionally. What was happening in this moment, it wasn't even Jesus, it was God, just telling his mother to say, hey, look, this is the time I need you to show them how to have a good time.
That's it.
To relax a little bit, to take a break, to wind down.
Yeah.
Life is serious, and I want you to take it serious. I want you to be obedient.
Right.
He said, but I want you to have a good time.
That's it. We gonna bust out the good wine.
You know what I mean? Take right, not just any kind of wine, but literally the best wine.
You see how that dude was, man? He was like, bro, you gonna wait until everybody's drunk to pull out the good wine? Come on, bro.
I'm telling you, but that's how it is in New Orleans, man. It's just all about just people coming together and just having a good time, and that's what it's all about.
I love that, man.
You know, not the hate, not the gossip, but literally just enjoying yourself.
And the jazz and the blues is pretty big there.
big, huge there, man.
That's
big
amazing,
presence,
bro.
man. The nightlife, everything is just all about lounging and just enjoying each other, man. Enjoying fellowship and enjoying connection and just enjoying life.
You got to do that, man. Now, back then, going to school, what kind of kid was you?
I was active, man. Into sports.
Okay.
I've done every sport you can possibly think of. I've done track.
Yeah.
I've done football.
Okay.
I was in a marching band. I've done karate.
Wait. We got to stop for a minute. What you mean a marching band? What'd you do in the marching band?
Oh, man, in marching band, I played a bass drum, a baritone, and I was a drum major.
Wow.
I was a drum major in middle school. So my last year in middle school, I was a drum major. Yeah. And then going into high school, I started playing the bass drum.
Okay.
But I started off playing a baritone, man. I mean, you talking about a good time. Again, you just going back to that, having a good time, celebration. That's what we did. We prepared. Yeah. We went out there. It was we just called it Battle of the Bands. Okay. Playing, one band would play, another band would play at the start of every parade route. Yeah. Man, it was just a blast. It was just always a good time, and we will always find a way to just have a good time.
I love that. Now, you had siblings?
Yep, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
Yep.
Where did you fall in that?
I fall in the middle of all that. I was the third child. The third child, man. Okay. I fall in the middle of all that, man. I was always the out-the-box thinker, always the one that would go, right? Okay. I was the one that would leave, when I graduated out of high school and I was going into the military, right? I signed up. The recruiter came back. He was like, "You ready to go?" Yeah. I was like, when is my earliest date I can leave? He said, "Listen, it was a Friday." He said, "You can leave Thursday if you want to."
Come on.
I left Thursday.
Wow.
Right. I went back and told my mother. I was like, "Look, I'm getting ready to leave in a week." She thought I was lying.
You was ready to go.
Everybody didn't believe I was getting ready to actually leave and go. But I was gone. I said, "Give me the first flight on." I was gone.
So you made that decision on your own. That had nothing to do with the parenting. Like the mom and dad didn't say, "Hey, son, I think you should go into the."
Nope, that was all me, man. I was in high school. I did JROTC for 4 years, and I liked the concept and I liked the lifestyle. And I said, you know what? I think this is going to be the direction for me. Yeah, you know what I mean. I experienced growing up in New Orleans. It was always shootouts and everything else. It was growing up and everything. I'm like, this is not the lifestyle I want. Right. I want something better. Yeah. So I chose the military.
It's beautiful. Now, what one time you can think of or remember? Like, when you were in the military, like, you was like, yo, this is serious.
Well, shoot, when I first went in, you kidding me? I went in during 9/11, right? This is for real. This is for real, and again, after doing 4 years of JROTC in high school, it was already a registered thing for me that I'm serious about this before I even went in. So I knew drill and ceremony. I knew how to do everything that pertains to the military itself. Right. So upon going in, even in basic training or upon going into basic training, they had put me in charge already. Okay. Right, I was already marching soldiers. I was already showing people how to do drill and ceremony because people didn't know how. Right. So I was teaching drill and ceremony just in processing. Yeah. Right. Wow. Processing in there and everything else. So I went in as a specialist versus a private. Yeah. Right. Because I already had 4 years of JROTC already. So I already had major experience upon going in. Right. So it was serious for me. And I knew, and they would always tell us upon going in, because it was 9/11, right? You're probably going to go to war after basic training.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So in my first duty station, 101st, within a year, I was in Iraq.
Wow. You had a bit nervous, like, you know what? Hey, I'm going out there today, but I don't know if I'm coming back.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that was the mindset you really got to get in now. Right, because now you're getting ready to go into a danger zone that you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you got to get in a different mind frame of, you can't be emotional. You can't tap. You got to get focused.
That's heavy, bro.
You know what I mean? Heavy. Like it's a whole different mindset you literally got to get into. Wow, because this is life or death right here.
Man, you had any big friendships that you lost out there?
Yes, I've lost quite a bit of people out there. Some, first sergeant. I've lost sergeants. Good friends that we used to train together and everything else. But yeah, I've lost quite a bit along the way.
Wow, man. So, we gonna move forward a little bit, because we got that done. You got back to the States, and you were like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, well, after Iraq, after my second tour in Iraq, I was coming from Germany, and coming to D.C. area, and I was in the process. I say about a year or two later, I decided I was going to get out of the Army, and I was going to open up my own business. So I started going to school for personal training.
Okay.
While in the military, and I was already a master fitness trainer in the Army.
Oh, come on!
So I was already training soldiers and things like that in the Army itself, doing hand-to-hand combat as well as a hand-to-hand combat instructor. Okay. So I did a lot with fitness while in the military. Okay. So it always was a part of my life and everything that I did. So upon getting out, I was getting my certification to be a personal trainer. Okay. And when I got out, I had finished that personal training certification and went straight into opening up my own business. Started doing boot camp classes. Yeah. I was also doing catering because I was a cook in the Army.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So that was my main job.
So 2 skills there. Oh, so man.
I kind of did. So it was the best of both worlds. Yeah, so teaching people how to eat and teaching people how to take care of their bodies at the same time and get more healthier has always been a thing for me.
Right. Wow, man. That's beautiful, bro. Now, you got this whole workout thing down to the T where you're like, okay, this is the direction I'm going. Where was the first area you target?
You said what was the first
area that you target?
As far as like
who I'm going to be working with.
Well, that was just the general populations of people, right? So it's just the people that just want to lose weight. Yeah. That was the first direction of things, just to get into the industry itself. Right. And then from there, I started doing bodybuilders. Okay. I started training bodybuilders and became a bodybuilder myself. Okay. For a period of time, for about 7 years. And then from there, it was just, training people who's serious about themselves and really taking it to the next level. And I've always seen myself training leaders. Right.
When it comes to like the working out like that, and some people get a little confused with it because they see certain bodybuilders that was killing it back in the day. And then when they see them now, they got all this weight on. They look crazy, bro. Yeah. And people are like, yo, what happened? What are those people was doing before? Why when you get older where you lost all of that?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, Inc. everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance through mentorship, empowering programs and storytelling workshops. We help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud of.
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida.
ES is changing lives,
one story at a time.
But we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, donate, help us fuel the next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahas.org today, because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
Well, it's easy to lose what you've built up when it comes down to bodybuilding if you don't create a lifestyle out of it, right? So a lot of people go into bodybuilding and they train for that period of time. It becomes very serious for that timing, right? But when it's over, there's no goal.
Right.
There's no purpose. There's no direction. So people fall off.
Right.
So I always tell people, create a lifestyle. Even if you're going to become a bodybuilder, still create a lifestyle out of it.
Right.
Do all natural things. Don't do steroids. Don't do things that you're not going to do for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah.
Do things that's going to build it up. Yes, it's going to take a little bit longer to get yourself where you need to be at, but it's going to be all natural, and you'll be able to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Wow, man. And it almost seemed like with a lot of the guys that was competing a lot, steroids was a big thing for them to go to.
It was a big thing because people want the big muscles, right? And they want the big muscles fast. We have a microwave society, right? And if we can get something faster, then we're going to try to do it that way, right? No matter whether it's illegal, whether it's going to hurt us in the long run, right? We all about, hey, how am I looking right now? What can I do right now to get me where I need to be at? That's the reason why people go do what? Pay $5,000, $10,000 to get surgery, right? To go from now being 300 pounds to now 150 pounds. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Is that really sustainable? Right. So we want to take steroids to get bigger. We want to do surgery to get smaller. Right. That's what men. That's men and women. That's the mindsets.
Yeah.
But if we think long term, like business, right? Business doesn't happen overnight. Right. It happens over time. Right. With consistency. So that's the same thing that happens with the body. If I begin to go on a focused direction with my body that's all natural, right? Not the steroids, not the surgery, but just take it one day at a time and live in the moment and enjoy what I'm doing, right? And enjoy this process. Guess what? It's going to be a lot more sustainable.
Definitely. I love that.
You know what I mean?
That. Yeah, man.
You have those celebratory moments now. You have those moments and times where you say, you know what? I work for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Not I pay for that, right?
Well, you work for that.
I work for that.
That's a big difference right there, people. Yeah. I like that. And when you got back, how was your parents doing? Was they excited that you were back, or they were just
Well, back from the army. Yeah. So my mother was excited the fact that I got out, of course, because now I don't have to go back to Iraq anymore.
Right.
So now I'm in D.C. because I didn't go home, right? So now I got out in Maryland area and stayed there for a period of time, and because I didn't go back home, I wasn't trying to go back home. I'm trying to go to new heights and see what God is taking me.
Right. I thought you'd go bless your parents with your presents for a minute.
No, I ain't go home. I continued on where God was taking me at, and you know, I didn't want to get out of the military. I felt it was something that God wanted me to do in that time and in that moment. Yeah. So that's what I did. I wanted to retire. God had a different direction for me. So I took that leap of faith, and I got out and started going in the direction in which I believed that God was taking me.
That's beautiful, man. I love that. And, you know, it's important because a lot of us don't necessarily understand the relationship that we can have with God and what that look like. And even how to listen, you know, because that's hard in itself. Because, you know, when you talk to someone that's all about the physical, they see it. Mm-hmm. They can relate, they can talk on it and all that stuff. It's hard for them to comprehend what that all looks like.
Right, because I believe that, you know, even as I was going through school for personal training, I made everything spiritual, kind of in such a way that if I would learn it, I'd be like, how God is connected to this. Right. If I would learn about the biceps, how God is connected to this. Why did God decide to design us this way? Why does the muscles run in this direction? Right. So I'm asking God these things as I'm learning. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. You know what I mean? So the bicep has 3 parts and everything else, and the tricep has 3. You look at all these different things, and you're like, okay, God, why did you design us like this? So these were my questions as I begin to learn about the human body.
You know, bro, it's kind of crazy you're saying all that, what you're saying right now, because I was always wondering if I'm the only one sometimes that be questioning God. Like, okay, God, I'm me.
Right.
I'm me. Like, why me? You know, like, why, you know, like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that we can just be vibing sometimes, be like, okay, man, help me understand. Help me put it together.
And that's the thing, you know, because we grew up with the notion of don't ask God questions. Right.
Yeah.
And when I was able to really break through that mindset of don't ask God questions, I began to really question God on everything.
Right.
Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know the truth. I didn't just want to know what I experienced, but I wanted to know the truth. God, what's really happening?
Yeah.
What's really taking place? Yeah. How are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Right? How do I experience you? You know what I mean? And all these things I got going on in my life, right? With fitness, with nutrition, with all this. What is all this stuff? You know, what are you doing in my life? Like,
right.
What is our relationship like here?
I love that, man. And, you know, with the way society is going right now, with the mass of people watches the media, you know, whether that's TV, social media.
Yeah.
How you feel a lot of people are handling that right now, bro, with all the messages that are being thrown out there between the politics, the religion, all that stuff?
As far as their mindsets?
Right.
Well, I would say overall, I believe that, you know, you have on the spiritual side of life, I believe I hear a lot of people saying, you know, God got us in transition right now.
Right.
There's a transformation happening in the world, right? There's a resting taking place with a lot of different people right now. And then on the other hand, whether you got a lot of people that's just kind of, you know, taking it one day at a time. Right. Then you got another group of people who's afraid because we got, you know, the war taking place and, you know, we can't find a job.
When they say aliens are starting to
you know what I mean? So you got all these different things happening in our world and you sit back and think and you look at it all, man, like, and you just gotta, and as a believer and as a child of God, it's like, okay, God, at the end of the day, again, I got to go back to my foundation scripture. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. So I'm like, God, you know what? You're in control, not me. I know what you promised me.
Right.
So the chaos that's happening only takes me back to the beginning of the Bible. When the Bible says God created heaven and the earth was without form and void. That was chaos happening. Everything was empty. Everything was chaotic. Nothing was in order.
Right.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's a move of God that's about to take place, I believe, that's really going to put things into alignment.
Right. You know, man, I just saw a video where these kids were asking questions about things that they would like to see that we used to have, that we don't have no more, like the landline phone.
Yeah. I believe it's important because, you know, you got the landlines. I believe will be, and we don't even need not necessarily a landline, but a house phone.
A house phone, right.
You know what I'm saying? So what happened to the house phone? Why? Because we got a phone on our hip at all times.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're constantly we're relying on this thing at all times. Yeah. No matter where we go, we're relying on this.
You know, one of the things, I was just in Connecticut. You guys know because you guys got to see me up there on the journey. But my dad is a music guy. You know, he has a big sound system, got a lot of records, LPs, 45, all this stuff. And, you know, you look at me and he was like, you know, man, the crazy thing, we used to just buy the record and we have the record.
Mm-hmm.
And we can play the record whenever we want. Now, you got to subscribe to a specific platform to hear that, whatever that music is. And if you can't pay for that subscription, you can't hear it.
You don't get it on the Spotify or one of those different places because, you know, you got free platforms and they're free for a period of time as well. Right. You know, depending on where you're going at. So you got certain platforms, but you're right. We now have to subscribe to certain things in order to now receive what we used to get, right? And used to pay for one time and now have all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I guess it's still like that, depending on what platforms you're on. You know what I mean? So life has evolved, shall we say, not changed. I always say evolve because it's all the same, but it's a different way. You see what I'm saying? It has evolved into something more accessible.
Right.
Right. Something more, what they say is easier to get to now versus having that disc that we got to now find that might be scratched.
Right. It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, as you were talking, man, I was thinking when I was in Africa and we had went into Soweto and, they took me down in the village and the people that knows technology, man, knows civilization as it is now, for them is like where they're comfortable, bro. And the guy was like, we would never accept this type of things. This will bring us complications.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people wouldn't even understand that because they're like, yeah, how could you deny all this technology stuff that's moving faster?
Right.
But bro, there's so many bad to this right now.
There's a lot of bad to the technology happening in our world today. As everything evolves, we as a people, we know how to build. Right? Like you go back to the Bible, right? When they built the Tower of Babel, right? It went all the way up.
That's serious.
He had to stop them from doing that because it was going too high.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So now that's kind of what's happening now today, that with technology.
Yeah.
Technology has advanced so much to the point to where, do we really have control over it now?
Well, you see now, they're trying to make sure these robots can walk good and balance themselves and all.
But that's what they're doing. You saw they had a robot walk out with what's her name, the president's wife, the other day. Walking in front, walking in front of her, and then did a whole demonstration, talked and everything, introduced itself, the whole 9 yards. I was like, they're definitely advancing it. Of course, they've been working with special forces for quite some time as well.
I missed that.
Where they're teaching the robots how to fight and everything else. They've been doing that for a very long time. You kidding me?
You know the crazy thing, bro? And I don't know, us humans, and the Bible do compare us as sheeps.
Yes.
I don't think we have comprehend on that. I don't think we fully understand what that is. You see how a sheep function?
Yeah.
If a flock of sheep see a sheep walking off the cliff, they walking off the cliff behind that sheep. I'm just saying, unless the shepherd is there to say, hey.
To pull them right back in with that ride.
Right.
They said, your rod and your staff will comfort me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That means I'm going to pull you in when you get out of the the fold.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to use my rod and staff, and I'm going to pull you right back in because you're getting out of alignment.
Yeah. Man, bro, why are we not taking this serious, bro? Like, we got the tools. We got the tools to guide us into that direction that we need, but we don't necessarily. Some people don't even care for that book, bruh.
Because we don't know it to be truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't know it to be truth. We've been told so many different times that the Bible is just another book.
Right.
That the words that contradict themselves.
Right.
That how does God contradict himself?
Right.
Right? God says what he says.
Right.
And again, even if he tells you one thing and then tells you a different thing based on that one thing he told you, that's what God said.
Right.
Because that's what he wants you to do in that moment, because this is the process.
Right.
Right? Like baking a cake. I got to mix everything up first before I put it in the oven. I can't just pour it all into one pan and then just put it into the oven.
Bruh.
Right? So I gotta put it into a bowl.
Yeah.
I gotta mix it.
Right.
And then pour it and put butter in the pan. Or put some type of oil in the pan.
Right.
And then pour it in.
Right.
Make sure it's at the right heat. And then put it into the oven.
Yep.
Right?
The preparation.
So I believe that's the exact same process that we also have to go through.
Right.
When God was telling Abraham, hey, go sacrifice your son, your only son.
Right.
So then when he journeys along, gets there, right? He gives him a different direction.
Right.
He gets there. He said, hey, I got a ram in the bush that I want you to sacrifice. But again, this is not contradiction.
It's not.
This is a process of faith that I believe that has to take place, that God has to know, will you listen to me?
Right.
Will you be obedient to what I'm saying, not you saying?
Yeah, but his faith had to be so strong.
Right.
Can you imagine your only kid? And you're like, listen, we need you to bring him up here. We gonna do a sacrifice. And you're like, my son or my daughter? Like,
this is all I have?
what we doing here?
Right. You know what I mean? And that's a process of life. So with all this chaos that's happening in our world, I believe that, this is a time where we step up and say, you got what? God, you're in control.
Right.
Not me.
Yeah.
I don't have control of all this. I don't know what to do. That's when we have to relinquish. Right. And that's the reason why when I tell people about fitness and getting themselves into shape, getting themselves right, getting focused, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Stop thinking you know what you're doing.
Right.
I don't care what worked 10 years ago. It's not going to work today.
No. It won't.
You have to get. That's the reason why the best NFL player, the best NBA player, the best soccer player, the best tennis player, right? They all have what?
They got a trainer.
Not just their coaches.
Right.
They got trainers. Yeah. Right, that keeps them sharp.
Hey, bro, I'm glad you said that because listen, and for a lot of you guys that have followed my journey, knew about when I died in 20 and all these different things that have happened. You guys know, like when they reach out and they're like, okay, you can get back to the workout world and all that stuff, but you got to go back in slow. I'm like, listen, I have no idea what I used to do, or how I was doing it and all, and if it was even right. So it's like, okay, now, got to get a trainer.
And you don't know what slow is because we think I can get back going where I started off, where I left off at 10 years ago, right? So now you get into the gym, and now you're trying to do the same stuff you used to do, and now you hurt yourself. Now you back out again for the next 3 months. And you know what I mean? Because you didn't know what you were doing.
Right. And that would work like that. Because, bro, when I tell you, I have seen some stuff in the gym where I'm like, yo, if only they have made a choice to get a trainer to help them, bro, that would have not happened.
And it just evolves, man. Like for me, when you're faithful, again, when you're faithful over a certain thing, faithful over a few things, God will give you more. Right. And I've done fitness for so long, right? And I've always wanted a concept where I can help my clients recover their muscles, faster.
Yeah.
Right. So I designed this candle.
Right.
And started making it. God gave me a candle where it melts down into an oil.
Okay.
And you can put it over your whole body.
Yeah.
Right. And it's amazing. And it helps the muscles recover in 24 hours.
That's beautiful, man.
Right. So if you're sore today, you put that candle on.
Yeah.
Right. And it really helps the muscles recover where you're back at working out again tomorrow.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome.
You know what I mean? And it's the evolution of life.
Yeah.
Everything goes from one thing to the next. If you're faithful with that one thing, keep building and growing, God will give you more to go with it.
Let me ask you, man, because females get crazy about this one thing when it comes to guys, the abs. Why is that, bro? Why you feel females go so crazy over it, even after they find out maybe the guy is gay or whatever it is. They go nuts.
I mean, you got to think about this. Do you want a woman that has a big belly? You know what I mean? Like, let's think about let's make it make sense. Do we as men want a woman with a big belly? You know what I mean? No, we don't want a woman with a big belly. She don't necessarily have to have abs, but we want her to have that Coke bottle. We want the Coke bottle,
that physique,
right? Or something close to it at least, right? So at the end of the day, that's the same thing we got to think about when women look at a man. Does she want to see that big belly?
Right.
You know what I mean? She want to see a man that has a nice, good looking physique. Right. That she can touch on. That she can look at on a regular basis and enjoy. Right. Versus saying in her mind, oh, he need to go work out.
Right. So, but here's the crazy part now, ladies. Hey. I know some of you guys going to want to come on the show after this and be like, oh, we need to talk about all this stuff. And I know they're like, a woman can look at a man and say, hey, you need to go work out because you're not looking so good. But when a man look at a woman and say that.
No, we can't say that.
Goodness.
No way. Right? Again, as a man, we got to just know our place. You got to, again, move with wisdom. Right? You know what I mean? Like, not foolishness. Again, lean not to your own understanding.
Right.
Again, go back to that scripture. Because that right there is going to get you in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You already know.
Did you just, what?
Like, you can't say that, man. Like, what? You know what I mean? You got to say that in a very creative way. Or go to her friend and say, look, you should tell your friend she got to work out.
Yeah.
Because you can't say it.
And don't go snitching on me either that I said this to you. Bro, it's so interesting now because now we have guys that are like, you know what, man? It is so hard to deal with a female. And I just want you guys to know that show is coming where you guys will get an opportunity to hear from some very opinionated individuals that will speak on that. But, you know, guys are struggling right now with how to communicate with a female. With a lot of the questions that a lot of these guys have right now, and I know some will be like, okay, man, you know, what would someone like Ron say, like, to us not knowing how to even be ourselves around a woman? What would you say to those dudes?
Well, I would say not being able to be yourself around a woman.
Yeah. That's hard.
You know, because I'm all about identity, right? And I believe it comes with confidence,
right?
And that comes with working out. That comes with, you know, consistency, right? What you do every day,
right?
To represent, to present you. What are you doing to present you? Whether that's going to the gym, whether that's reading a book, whether that's going to church. What are you doing that really begins to refine or identify who you are in you, right? What is telling you, you know what, this is who I really am, right? Because I believe it's something that we do every day that allows us the alignment process that's happening as we indulge into life. We're experiencing, we're going through life, we're reflecting, right? We pray, we study, we're doing all these different things. And what are you doing consistently?
Right.
That's identifying with who you are. So now when you approach someone or that you may be interested in, how are you approaching and how are you introducing yourself? And, you know, those are the things I believe that we have to think about. What are we doing consistently every day to identify, to know who are you?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you got to be consistent with who you are in order
to really
to
know who you are.
Right.
To be consistent with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. To know this is who I really am versus saying, hey, how you doing? This is what I do.
Yeah. Now, you're in a situation where you get to meet, you can only pick one of these guys. Run DMC, MC Hammer. Who you going with?
Run DMC. All day. You kidding me? Run DMC all day, man. You know, shoot.
Hey, nothing against you, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
You bad
without
dude.
a doubt, man.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get mentored from the best, right?
Yeah.
Want some who really brought the culture together, that really got out there and did some things and really spoke to us in a very wise way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, man. When Jerry Curls came out, what was you doing?
I had a Jerry curl. Yo, I went out. I had the bush. I had dreads. I had braids. I had the whole 9 yards.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? All throughout high school, man. Like I had all that stuff, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I used to go. I had
the spray.
Man, look, I had the Jerry curl, bro. I had it for just a short period of time too. I didn't have it for a long time because right after the Jerry curl, I went straight into having braids.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
I had the braids going down my back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They, I didn't have. They wasn't real long, but they went to my shoulder.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then right after that, I went bald.
You went bald.
I cut it all off.
You're
Everybody was like,
yeah. What happened?
Why?
Dude, what we doing? Oh, man, that's serious.
Yeah, man. But that was the good old times, man.
Yeah.
That was the good old days, man. Just, again, evolving and growing.
Right.
Experiencing life.
You know, man, for a lot of individuals, even that's who's watching now, if you was to compare some of the times, the 80s, 90s, 2000, which time would you say was more enjoyable?
Man, I'm going to say the 90s, man. Yes, you got the 2000s, which is is great right now, and it's but the 90s, man, that was a good time.
Oh yeah,
yo.
yeah. That was.
You're talking about celebration, partying, and it's not even about the party. It's really about the people coming together.
Right.
The good times.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to call. We used to have a tree in the hood where we used to call under the tree.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Everybody used to meet up under the tree and have deep conversations about life and just joke around, just have a good time. You know what I mean? Like it was just. We even went and got a shirt that said "Under the Tree."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we used to just hang out whenever we used to just have get-togethers, and that was life, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And we don't have that now today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that coming together. I mean, we do have it. Like, you go to New Orleans, man, I see it all the time. I'm just like, I got to get back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're coming together. We're doing those big things. We're celebrating. It's still that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It hasn't been lost. It hasn't been lost. And I believe that that's where we all should be at.
Oh, definitely.
Community
is big. I love that.
Community is, I believe, is the biggest thing of life that keeps us living, that keeps us growing, that keeps us as people evolving.
Right. Now, for everyone that's watching, listening, if you was to give them one gem, this is free right here for you guys. You don't have to pay for this. What would you tell them would be a good routine workout without telling them too much?
Well, I'll say for the person that's trying to gain weight, like myself, I'm always, in the process of gaining weight is the hardest thing to do. And we have more of a small body frame, and it's that challenging of gaining that 1 pound or that 2 pounds that you're trying to gain. I would say go to working out 3 days a week, pick about 4 to 5 different exercises, go heavier weight that's challenging that you can only do 8 reps at.
Right.
And that will be a great direction for people that's trying to gain weight. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to lose weight, I would say the best direction would be for you working out 4 days a week and doing 6 to 8 different exercises, doing it 3 sets at about 12 to 15 reps.
Okay.
Right. With a 30 to 60 second break. People who's trying to gain weight, I would say break for 90 seconds to 2 minutes at a time between sets and doing 3 to 4 sets.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it all depends on what you're doing based on your break time, based on where you're at in your journey, and just picking healthy foods. And I believe that we all know what healthy foods are.
Right.
But it's the how often to eat. I would say if you're trying to gain weight, I would say eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. If you're trying to lose weight, eat every 3.5 to 4 hours.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To kind of balance everything out throughout the day. So that should equal to about 3 meals a day for people who's trying to lose weight, and about 4 to maybe 5 meals a day for people who's trying to gain weight.
Come on. Wow. That was beautiful. Hey, you guys are welcome, by the way. Wow, that's beautiful, man. Right now, with people wanting to engage, find, their niche, or, find an engaging event or place to go but they don't really know what to look for or how to approach what that look like. What would you say to them?
As far as like to where it goes for, it's like a gym?
Well,
anywhere.
Gym or just anywhere.
Like just going out,
all that stuff.
I would tell a person, I would tell you to, first of all, what brings you, what puts a smile on your face, number one.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, you have to reflect on your life and what has put that smile on your face.
Yeah.
Right? Not another person, but what that event, what put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And now begin to connect with people that associates with those types of events.
Right.
And go there, because I believe that's where our connection is.
Yeah.
And that's where we grow at.
I love
right?
that.
And that's where we can find ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now we're not restricted to what we want to do.
Right.
But we're free to do what we want to do.
I love
to
that.
figure out who we really are.
Right. And a lot of females are looking right now, and they're like, okay, Cornell, can you ask him? I got you. Got you guys. For those ladies that are curious, single or available, which one? What we going? What we doing?
Oh no, I'm not available. I'm focused on my journey and direction with my business and God in this moment right now. My focus is really to just.
Hey,
yeah.
I know what some of you guys are thinking right now. How can I meet him and break him? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This is the beautiful thing. I love that, man. For people that would love to connect with you, possibly, hire you as a trainer, what does that look like? How can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Candleman17. Again, I make candles. Massage oil candles that melts down into an oil. But again, Candleman17 on Facebook. You can connect with me on there.
That's beautiful. As you said, the whole candle thing, because it is so crazy, bro. When it's so hot, for people that are like thinking of doing that, dropping that on them when it's melting. What advice would you give them?
Well, it's not even hot. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a very warm feeling.
Okay.
It has 100% therapeutic grade essential oils, 100% organic soy wax, vitamin E, and vitamin C, and the base of it is almond oil. So by the time you light that candle and it melts down, and you put that onto your skin, it's a warm feeling. It's a soft feeling. It feels amazing. I have different scents from lavender to citronella to eucalyptus. I mean, again, it depends on what's going on with your body.
Yeah.
It helps out with cuts, burns, bites, sore muscles. The main reason why I started making them is for people with sore muscles.
Oh, come on.
But it helps out with so much more, and it does so much more. And I really enjoy making candles. I don't know. It's really a good time that I'm having when I'm by myself making those candles, man. It's
Candle
like,
man.
Yeah, man. It's the best, man.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual moment for me, man.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, bro. And just even with you being in devotion before you start your day. You know what? Before we close the segment, guys, I want you to touch on that, because a lot of people don't necessarily understand the importance of that, or how to get into a routine, or how long do they need to do this before they can get in a habit to just be doing that every day. And it's like, it's a part of their normal routine.
First of all, you gotta want it. That's the number one thing. I believe that you gotta want it, because I've tried to start a devotion first thing in the morning time at one point, and I couldn't be consistent because I wanted it, but I didn't want it as bad as as bad to really be consistent. And I believe that it's something that you gotta really, really want. To be consistent, and you got to go ahead and once you really, really want it, now you begin to create a discipline, right? You create a routine behind it. So you say, you know what? I know I'm free at 6 a.m. every morning. So you know what? Let me set my alarm for 5:45, so that way I'm up at 6 a.m. and I'm getting my devotion in. And this is going to be my time, because I know I'm free at 6 a.m. every morning. So I'm going to start doing that consistently, right? And it start with that consistent every day. And once you get into that routine, just like working out, it becomes an enjoyable thing. So now you get more interested at what it is that you're doing, and you start creating things that's going to allow you to grow and evolve in that space, right? To where now, you know what? You realize I didn't have as much faith before, but because I started on this routine, I can see changes happen in my life. So I want to do this more. Right? It was like when I started having faith, I practiced having faith first. Right? It's kind of like you fake it till you make it kind of thing, because I don't believe I had faith before. Right? But when I started practicing it, I realized this actually works. That not my resources. Not nothing I did, not nothing I knew, but because I obeyed God and I gave my time to God, that this happened in my life. So you know what? Let me do this more. So I believe that if we begin to really, if we don't have that faith, if you don't see yourself in that space just yet, I would say pick a routine that you know you can be consistent with every day, not once a week, but literally every day. And then see God work things out in your life. And I believe that, you're going to want to have more of that time, more of that routine to see more of God happen in your life.
That's beautiful. We dropped the mic, people. We dropped the mic. Hey, man, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you, brother.
This was beautiful. Listen,
thank you so much.
Until our next episode where we have another decorative guest right here at EOS Club.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissinggorge and www.cornellbunting.com. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.